Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is the HyperX Cloud II Wireless. This is a wireless gaming headset from HyperX, an updated version of the Cloud, and this is wireless with 7.1 surround sound. This is an unboxing video where I'll be using the microphone through the entirety of the video so you can understand what the quality of the mic's like. And as you can hear, it's a wireless headset, so the microphone's quite compressed and tinny and not up to the usual quality of my mic recordings, but I think it gives you the best example of what the capture quality is like. Now, this is a 2.4 GHz wireless headset which has a aluminium frame, a detachable noise cancelling microphone, 7.1 surround sound developed by HyperX, and up to 30 hours of battery life. This is actually a pretty decent headset, I'll be honest. It's fairly no frills. It works with PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch and PC. Those are the main setups, and I have been using it for PC, so that's where my experience is going to come from. And I'm going to take it out of the box and then tell you what it's like to use. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and I've been using it on both a laptop and a gaming desktop using the included 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, which is fairly large. A few things you will note as it comes out of the box. It comes with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, which is very short and titchy. But not to worry, because that cable isn't for the delivery of sound. It seems that you can only really charge with that, so it isn't necessarily something you'll be using plugged in anyway, but something to bear in mind. If you do need to charge and use it, then you are going to have a problem with that cable because it is very short. You will also see that it is a very flexible headset. As I said, it has an aluminium frame on it, so it's fairly sturdy and bendable and twistable, and it looks fairly durable. I think this is going to hold up nicely over time. You'll see those red elements on the outer are the aluminium bits, and it's got a very strong headband from that. You can turn and bend it. You'll also note it has these large faux leather memory foam ear cups, which are nice and large, and I found that they cover the head nicely, cover those ears nicely, sit over the ear nicely, block out a fair amount of external noise while also delivering some comfort. There's a removable microphone. As I said, that's the mic you're hearing now, and that has some noise cancellation to it. The quality isn't amazing, but it's okay for a headset microphone. And then the dongle, which I mentioned previously, USB Type A, and delivers a fairly decent range. Actually, I've found I can probably go a couple of rooms without it breaking up. I haven't had any issues sitting in the room using it. There's no problem there. There's also an included windshield to reduce some of the other noises that you'll get when naturally breathing into the microphone and talking, as you can hear me doing now. I'm not going to do any noise cancellation on this audio, just going to normalize the levels, be able to hear what the quality of the capture is like. I'll also cover off tweaks that you can do to it within the software, so it comes and is compatible with HyperX's Ingenuity software, and I'll cover that at the end of the video. But you can see you can detach the mic, so if you don't want to use it and you already have a mic set up, a separate mic, then you can opt to do that. Obviously also means that you can just use them as headphones without that microphone as necessary. Press and hold the power button turns it on. Nice and easy, simple affair. There's also a mic mute button, which I'll show later on. It gives you an audible cue and a light on the microphone itself too. So, initial impressions getting out of the box are actually, it looks like a decent headset, and those impressions have carried on through the use period as well. I've had some nice gaming sessions with it. It comes with virtual 7.1 surround sound. HyperX has moved away from Dolby. They used to have work with Dolby on the surround sound, but they're not doing that anymore, and they developed their own virtual surround sound based on user feedback and what they want from it. And I've actually found the positional audio on it has been fairly decent. I've also thoroughly enjoyed using this headset for listening to music and other things. It's got a good audio range to it. That said, I do find that during gaming sessions it has been a bit tinny compared to other headsets I've used, so it isn't quite as rich. For music and movies it's been good, but for games it's not quite as much bass to it. It is, however, very loud, and you can adjust the volume with the volume wheel on the ear cup, so it's nice and easy to adjust there, and it gets very, very loud. I've had to run it very quietly at low settings because it can get very loud, and that is something that you will thoroughly enjoy if you're into listening to audio really loudly, because I get that question a lot. Is it loud? The answer is firmly yes, this one is very loud indeed. Specs on this headset are also interesting. It has 53mm drivers with a closed cup operation, capable of frequency response of 15 Hz to 25,000 Hz. You can actually get to up to 48 kHz within Windows Audio, and the sound setting it has 60 ohms nominal impedance. I'll leave all the other specs in the description, but basically the end result is you have some large drivers that are able to deliver a very loud sound. You have that closed cup design to result in good noise cancellation. It's actually fairly decent noise cancellation with 100% memory foam on the headband and on the ear cups with these faux leather cushions. It actually blocks out quite a bit of external noise, and I found it to be very comfortable. That extendable headband, as you can see, also extends out quite wide, and with the stretch of the headset too, is also able to fit on any size noggin. I'd imagine it fits nicely on the head, and as you'll see a bit later on, it really extends out nicely in that way. I will note that the ear cups do get quite warm, so if you are a warm-blooded person, or if you're in a warm climate, you will find it gets quite hot. But I do think that the size of them, you can see the size of the drivers, the size of the ear cups, that means that I haven't found that I've had a lot of pressure on my ears or on my head, and it's been comfortable to wear all day long and for good gaming sessions. Also, the ear cups themselves aren't terribly deep, but they are quite large, and as you can see, memory foam cushioning, very soft too, and so it results in quite a nice setup and a good comfortable fit. One gripe that I will have, as I said, is that USB-C charging cable is a bit too short, which I think is a bit of a shame, but the overall look and feel of the headset is actually very nice too. That red finish and the red HyperX logo is very tasty, and it looks really good on a noggin. I think it's a nice looking headset, not too in your face. There's no RGB lighting, obviously. The only light that you have is on the ear cup next to the power button to let you know when it's turned on and give you an idea of the battery life, and you do get an audible warning in the headset when it's running low on battery, so it will just beep at you, and you can see the battery within HyperX's Ingenuity software as well, so there are warnings on that. But one thing I will note is that it says it can get up to 30 hours of battery life. I've actually found that it does get a heck of a lot of good battery out of it. I have not charged it a great amount while I've been using it. It's just kept going and going. It's got some intelligent sleep settings, so it goes to sleep nicely when it's not in use. It's really easy to power on and off. Obviously, just press and hold that power button, turns it on and off. But there are settings within the Ingenuity software. You can tell it when to power off. As default, I believe it sets to 20 minutes before it will turn itself off, but you can shorten that as well. But I've just found that the battery just keeps going. It's a really good battery life in there, and it just lasts, and that's been joyful, because there's nothing worse than having to plug in a headset. Obviously, with that short charging cable, you do want to make sure you get it plugged in as soon as you can and charge it nicely, unless you have easy access to a charging cable on your desk, or just use a longer cable. Obviously, if you've got your own USB, why they've thought to include such a short one is a bit of an odyssey. I don't really know why they've done that. It's a bit of a shame, lets it down otherwise. You'll see at the top a nice padded headband. As I said, that's a memory foam headband as well, and leather finish on it. So all in all, a really nice headset in a number of different ways. It comes with a 2-year warranty as well, so there's peace of mind in that way. One thing that I did note is that it looked like the red elements on the headband are actually plastic. That's what I thought initially, but they are aluminium, and so you have got a solid build quality within that will keep going and going. Now I wanted to give you a close look at the mic because I thought it was worth mentioning. As I said earlier on, there is a LED ring at the end of the microphone to let you know when it's muted. Now this is quite a short mic. You see it's basically just within line with my mouth, which is fine because you can hear it. But one thing I do notice is it's a bit difficult to see that light. It's down in the peripheral view when it's in there. But you can bend the mic and move it out of the way if you don't want to use it. And also you get an audible cue when you press that mic button to let you know when it's muted. And you'll also obviously see that light as well, so it's fairly good in that way. And it does a decent job as well of capturing audio. See at the back of the headset that light flashing to let you know that it's on. So basically a no frills headset, but one that delivers a good quality. Now if we dive into the Ingenuity software, you'll see this is in beta setup at the moment, so there's something they're working on constantly, but you'll see there aren't a great deal of options in here. You have the ability to adjust the volume of the headset, to turn the microphone on and off, to turn the 7.1 surround sound on and off, and to turn mic monitoring off. So if you want to be able to hear your own voice in the headset, you can just turn that on in here. It's not on as default. So if you can't hear your own voice, then that's why you need to go into the software and change that. You also have the ability to set up presets, so you can have different options and different presets in there, and you can change that. Click on those with ease, but you can see it's fairly underwhelming in terms of what it delivers. One thing I will note though, it is worth turning on the startup so that the software starts when your PC does, because one thing I noted is I put the mic monitoring on, and then when I turn my PC off and then I turn it back on again, the mic monitoring was no longer on, so I then couldn't hear myself. And because of these noise cancelling ear cups, you basically end up shouting, and that's not an ideal situation. So if you set it to launch when Windows does that, should ensure that the settings stay there and you don't have a problem. If you go and dive into Windows sound setting, you'll see in the additional device properties of the sound settings, if you go into advanced, you can see you have 16-bit 48 kilohertz quality available within there. You can also opt for Windows Sonic sound, and if you have it, Dolby Atmos if you prefer that in terms of the surround sound. But what I found is that, as I said, still there was good positional audio and a really rich sound for music and movies, but I felt like it lacked the bass of other more expensive headsets that I've used recently, and that's an unfortunate thing. It's a bit tinny. However, my friends have sounded good, and other things that I've been doing have been fine, and it's certainly not the worst headset I've tried. All in all, I think it's a good, solid package from HyperX, a comfortable headset, great battery life, decent mic quality, good sound, reasonable surround sound, excellent for music and movies and other things, and it just lacks in terms of the bass response. This has been the Provoked Prawn. I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. I'm also going to be comparing the Cloud II Wireless with some other similar headsets in the near future, so be sure to come back and see those. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it useful, interesting, hilarious, or all of the above. Be sure to check out the description for other information you might find interesting, and subscribe and watch these other videos as well that I think might be useful to you, and have a great life.